When I tested the Mini 4 Pro for photography, I was impressed by the quality of the images produced by the new 1-inch sensor and by the 48mm Med Tele mode. In this video I will focus on the quality of the footage and the main functionality for filming. In the new model, DJI have finally managed to integrate a 1-inch CMOS sensor into a lightweight model. A major achievement, unthinkable only a few years ago. This is a crucial update compared to the 1/1.3-inch sensors of the previous lightweight model, the Mini 4 Pro, and should allow an excellent performance in low light and in high dynamic range situations, and deliver footage with optimal detail. The field of view is equivalent to 24mm, and the aperture is f.8, slightly smaller than the Mini 4 Pro. This should not cause any issues, as the larger sensor should be capable of collecting more light. The maximum video resolution is 4K, with frame rates of up to 120 frames per second for super slow motion, an improvement over the 100 frames per second of the Mini 4 Pro. Camera specs are the same as the wide-angle lens of the R3S, including HDR recording with 14 stops of dynamic range, thanks to the dual native ISO fusion, which works by recording each frame at two different ISO values, resulting in an underexposed and an overexposed one. The two frames are then blended to increase the dynamic range. This dual native ISO fusion only works when recording footage in auto exposure mode. I always prefer to use manual exposure to avoid shift of luminosity when the light changes, but in high dynamic range situations it is worth switching to auto exposure to take full advantage of the ISO fusion. I still suggest always using manual white balance to avoid shifting color when the luminosity changes. I find the optimum value with this model to be around 5300 Kelvin. Unlike the R3S, the camera of the Mini 5 Pro can rotate vertically to shoot footage in portrait mode, maintaining a 4K resolution. Users active in social media will appreciate. The gimbal also offers continuous 225 degrees roll rotation for dynamic and creative camera movement. The gimbal rotation can also be applied to intelligent flight modes like quick shots, hyperlapse, spotlight, and waypoint. Like the previous model, the Mini 5 Pro has omnidirectional obstacle sensors. A forward-facing LiDAR has been added to detect obstacles in low light. There is also a powerful LED that can be switched on when bringing the aircraft home at night. I found it very useful. The announced battery life is 36 minutes, a slight improvement on the 34 of the Mini 4 Pro. This is handy when shooting hyperlapses. If the budget allows for it, I suggest purchasing the Flymore combo with the two extra batteries and the fast charging hub, as charging a battery mounted on the aircraft is painfully slow. You can find the updated prices for all the different configurations in the description below. It is an affiliate link, so I get a small commission in case of purchase, which helps the channel. The algorithm of the OcuSync 4 video transmission has apparently been improved for stronger anti-interference feeds. I have tried it in the area with strong interference where I perform my signal transmission tests, and so far I have not encountered any disconnections. I will not analyze here all the intelligent flight modes, as I will do a specific video for each of them. You can subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to be informed. A major new feature of the Mini 5 Pro is the 48mm Med Tele mode, offering higher image resolution than the digital zoom of previous models. Thanks to the larger sensor, the Med Tele mode of the Mini 5 Pro can apply a 2x zoom with hardly any loss of detail and resolution. very close to an optical lens. The presence of the second telephoto lens was for many users the main reason to purchase an Air 3S over the Mini 4 Pro. With this new tele mode, we can get closer to target that normally cannot be reached, increase the parallax effect when different layers are present in an image, and obtain better separation between a target and the background. In Med Tele mode, the frame rates available are limited to 30 frames per second, therefore slow motion is not available. As you can see from these clips, the footage produced by the Med Tele lens is excellent, very close to a real optical lens. In the camera tab of the settings, there is a style option to modify the sharpness and noise reduction values applied to the footage. In all the examples shown in this video, I've applied a value of -2 for sharpness, as I find that the default value of 0 has too much detail, as you can see from this clip. Normal mode is the one that can be used just out of the camera without any editing, although a touch of extra contrast and saturation is often beneficial. In previous models, normal used to be an 8-bit profile, thus limited to 16 million colors. However, in the Mini 5 Pro, it is 10-bit when used at 4K resolution, producing over 1 billion colors. In easy light conditions, the rendition is excellent, with rich colors and excellent detail. I remind you that I'm using a sharpness values of -2. I suggest trying different values between 0 and -2 to find the one you prefer. Turning the camera down for a bird's eye view, we take the sky out of the equation to focus on the detail in the vegetation and the architectural features. The result is flawless, both with normal mode and with the Med Tele one. And now some high dynamic range clips, with a big difference in luminosity between the highlights and the shadows. Normal profile handles the situation relatively well, but this is an area where D-Log-M performs much better, as we will see later on. Low-light footage is an area where the Mini 4 Pro performs extremely well, thanks to the very wide aperture of its lens. The bigger sensor of the Mini 5 Pro gathers plenty of light, and the results are again outstanding. It is often hard to believe that the footage was taken in very dark conditions. The ISO can be kept at very low values, and noise is practically absent. The Mini 4 Pro has a specific night video mode for filming in low light. I never use it, as I find that the footage looks artificial and plasticky. I'm glad to notice that this mode is not present in the new model. There is simply no need for it. D-Log-M is a 10-bit flat profile with reduced contrast to minimize the difference in luminosity between the highlights and the shadows. It requires a good dose of post-processing and the use of LUTs to bring back the shadows and highlights to their optimal level, thus reducing the risk of overexposure or underexposure. DJI has already published a free specific LUT for the Mini 5 Pro. You will find a link in the description below. When using this profile, the image appears very flat on the screen, but in DJI Fly Up, below the profile selection, it is possible to activate Color Display Assist for an improved visualization. In this model, D-Log-M is particularly well implemented. In easy light conditions, the files respond extremely well to post-processing, and it is easy to modify the footage to fit the color scheme of a specific project. The quality of footage taken with the Med Tele mode is also excellent. Let me know your impression in the comments. I use the log M on most occasions, but the situation where it clearly outclasses normal is HDR condition, as you can see from these clips. The footage retains plenty of information and contrast in the shadows, while avoiding overexposure in the highlights. The structure of the sky is excellent, with practically no noise. The Mini 5 Pro has a third color profile, HLG. It is a 10-bit one and is designed for use with high-definition display units, such as a few recent TVs. This profile can be used on regular display units, but it is more complex to post-process and requires a specific color space. The majority of users should focus on normal and D-Log. The larger 1-inch sensor and Med Tele mode are two major appealing features for users who are serious about videography. There are also several other interesting improvements described above, although not as crucial as the two main ones. Since the footage quality is practically identical to the main lens of the Air 3S and very close to the Mavic 4 Pro, the Mini 5 Pro can also be a good choice for professionals who already own a bigger model and need a second one for urban shooting or for traveling. Click on this link to watch my video about photography with the Mini 5 Pro, and don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video interesting. Thank you.